there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to talk some more about Babygirl from last year, 2024, starring Nicole Kidman and Antonio Banderas and some guy named Harry Dickinson. Yes, that's his real name. Okay, obviously he's an unknown. This is the movie that's supposed to break him out into some sort of stud in Hollywood. Okay, that's gonna get all the women all excited. All right, so the next movie he's in, all the women are gonna show up to go see it. I don't think that's gonna happen because this movie didn't do very well. Okay, I mean, granted the budget wasn't very much. Okay, I think they spent 20 million on it. It made $64 million. Not bad, but when you recoup, all the marketing for this movie and all the rights and everything like that, they probably made a profit of maybe $15 million, 14 million, something around there. Okay, it was a wide release, but most people didn't go see it. First of all, guys don't want to go see this crap. There were some women that went to go see it, but most women that saw it on streaming. And that's the truth, okay? Because, I mean, the theaters, nobody's going to the theaters anymore, not for something like this. Okay, I mean, what was this? This was just another movie, self-empowerment for women, that are old and unattractive. These are the movies that they make. It's a genre in Hollywood. I'm not making that up. To make these older, over-the-hill women feel better about themselves by making young, attractive men fall in love with them in these movies, okay? Because that sells the women the fantasy that they can still get a young, attractive guy to fall in love with them. And this is not the only one. There's been some others as well. There was one, I saw a trailer for it with Emma Thompson, where I think she hires some gigolo or something, some young non-white guy, of course, who, like, I guess she pays him just to satisfy her for the weekend or something. I guess she was a widow, she's old now, and even when she was married, she never had an orgasm, so she pays this guy to give her orgasms, and he does, and of course she starts catching feelings for him, and I don't know what the hell, nobody saw this movie either. You might know the movie I'm talking about. Okay, I just saw the trailer, okay, and I could tell right away what this is about. Okay, this is a movie to make older women feel good about themselves while checking off all the DEI check boxes, okay? That kind of thing. All right, and then they did another one. I think it was with Tilda Swinton. Yeah, Miss Androgynous herself, Tilda Swinton. With her bald head in Doctor Strange. Okay, well, Tilda Swinton is another over-the-hill woman who I think she gets like a genie or something. Okay, who turns out to be Idris Elba. Yeah, Black Superman. Yeah, Idris Elba, right? Yeah, he came and went. I know he hasn't been relevant in 10 years. Okay, not after that the Dark Tower movie, which was just crap. And they did another one called Prey. I guess where in the trailer, I had the movie, I haven't seen it yet. In the trailer, Idris Elba, him and his family, I guess they go to Africa or something, and they get attacked by a lion. And it's an action movie, so there's a scene where Idris Elba punches the lion. Yeah, that movie bombed. Just in case you were wondering. It was called Prey. Okay, anyway, Idris Elba is like some genie or something who was just there to sexually satisfy her for the weekend, of course, for the weekend. Okay, that kind of thing. All right, this is just another one of those. Okay, it's just another third of a quarter life aged woman's wet dream. That's what this is. That a woman, in her 50s, pretending to be in her 40s, who's Botoxed out the ass. Okay, she cannot emote. She cannot emote legitimate emotions anymore because she looks like a doll now. Okay, her face doesn't move the way a normal woman's face moves because of all the Botox. And she's trying to be sexy, and she's trying to, the movie expects you to. It's the given. The given in the movie, which you have to accept before you even step into the theater, is that Nicole Kidman's character. Romy Mathis is a high-value woman, not just successful in business and family, but her sexuality is as well. When men want to fuck her so bad, I mean, she has to beat the men off with a stick. Not only is she super good-looking, okay, she's also very smart. She's very successful. She has more money than anyone else. She's more successful than her husband. Okay, and her cock is bigger than yours. Okay, and so the movie automatically expects you to assume all that. Before the movie even starts, you have to assume that already, because that's the only way they're going to be able to, the story's going to make sense. Okay? The filmmakers don't want to actually show you how smart she is and show you how successful she is and show you why she earned her place there. No. They're just going to tell you and you just have to go along with it. Okay? And I'm sorry, but Nicole Kidman, 57-year-old Nicole Kidman, okay, is not what I would consider sexy. Okay? Now, there is a loophole to this story. There is a reason why this young stud, okay, who's apparently broke. His dad was like a boxer who became like a poet or something. Yeah, some crap like that. This young stud, 25 years old, okay, intern means he has no fucking money. He's got to work a second job as a bartender, so he has no money. Okay, that this young stud, okay, comes in there and seduces the CEO of a company. Okay, now why in the hell would that happen realistically? The movie wants you to think that he did it because he was attracted to her, because he was impressed by her intelligence. He was impressed by her beauty. He was impressed by her class, by the way she carries herself, by her social status, okay? You know, the way she dresses, okay? The way she walks, all that kind of shit, right? All the money that she has, you know, the authority that she commands from everyone in that building that she owns, you know, that kind of thing, okay? Basically, it's a woman's wet dream, okay? No, okay? I know guys gonna be attracted to her for any of that fucking shit, okay? Is she hot? Does she have big tits? Does she have does she have like, you know, a round ass? Okay? Is she sexy? Okay? Is she reasonably attractive? Okay? In other words, would I fuck her if like two hot girls rejected me at a bar and she didn't? Would I fuck her? Yes, I would. I'd take her home. Fine. I'd do it. Okay. Okay, but would I necessarily fall in love with that woman? Okay? No, there is legit. The movie wants you to expect that because of her awesomeness, her Romy's awesomeness, that of course he's attracted to her. Of course he wants to seduce her. Of course he likes to have sex with her. He wants her. Okay, because she's all these things. Okay, no, bitch. Okay, that's why I hate it when lesbians write these fucking movies. They don't know what the fuck real men, straight men are attracted to. Okay, no, this is a lesbian's wet dream. Okay, guys aren't attracted to women who have this shit. Okay, or if they are, it's not because of that shit. Okay, guys don't care about that. Okay, they don't. Okay, what men are attracted to is what does she look like and how does she treat him. Okay, and a guy in his 20s. Okay, look at Nicole Kidman in this movie. Oh my God, this guy's surrounded by girls in his 20s already. Okay, his intern pool. Okay, why the fuck would he be trying to go to the CEO? Not only could he lose his job, realistically he would. Okay. But the only reason that a guy like this would want to seduce a 57-year-old CEO of his own company, the company that he works for, would be if it could get him ahead in the company. Okay? Okay, everyone knows this. Women know this, men know this. When you're fucking the boss, you get treated better. That's the truth. When you're fucking the boss, you get perks. Okay? You get privileges that other employees do not get. Okay? Women have been doing this for a long time. Okay? You know this. Okay? We all know this. All right? But the movie doesn't want to go there. Because that would mean that he was just using her. Which means that she's low value. She's a cuck. Here she is. She gave up her marriage, her family, her company, and all that stuff. Okay? Everything that she spent her whole life working towards, she gave it all up for a guy that didn't even give two shits about her. Oh, see, that's not the movie they want to present to you. You see what I mean? Although it is realistic that that's the only reason he would do it. Okay, but the movie ain't gonna go there because that would make her, the main character Romy look stupid, as if she doesn't already look stupid enough in this movie, as she doesn't already look gullible enough in this movie. Okay, this movie is supposed to be some feminist trash about how women are entitled to their orgasms. If a man's not giving them the orgasm, they have every right to get them from somewhere. It's her right, okay? Girl power, right? That's the message it's trying to push. But what they're downplaying, what they're not talking about, is just how fucking gullible and stupid and easily manipulated she is. Okay? Okay, would any woman out there, would you put your orgasm ahead of your fucking multi-billion-dollar company that you started, that you created, that you are the face of? You would give that up, and your marriage, and your kids? You would give all that up for a fucking orgasm? Are you fucking kidding me? And if you would, how the fuck did you get to that position anyway, being that fucking stupid? You see, this is what I'm talking about. I get it from the sensuality point of view. I get it. Okay, most of these movies are not meant for it to make sense. Once you break it down and take it apart and deconstruct it, they don't make sense. Okay, chick flicks tend to be about the emotions. They're trying to provoke emotions out of you. They're trying to make the women watching this shit lustful. Okay. Oh, don't think about the details. Just look at the way she's feeling. Look at the way he holds. Look at her. Look at the look on her face when he's fingering her. Oh my God. Oh, she's just swept away with the passion. Get the fuck out of here with that noise. Okay. I get it. Getting swept away with passion makes you do weird things. Makes you do stupid things. Okay. But she just keeps making more stupid decisions. Okay. And I have not finished watching this movie. I haven't finished watching it yet. It's really a chore to get through. It really is. Okay, but I can tell you, I'm going to predict the ending right now, okay, is that she does not suffer any consequences for what she does. You know why? Because no straight guy was involved in the making of this movie. That's why. Okay? If a real man had written this fucking shit, there's a lot of things that could have been done here. Okay? First of all, it would have been a hell of a lot more realistic to have Samuel, okay, the stud intern, to seduce her because she is the boss. Okay? And for her to fucking realize, oh my God, what am I doing? And have her character arc be time to redeem herself. Okay, I fucked up. Like Fatal Attraction did that. Okay, he cheated. Michael Douglas's character cheated on his wife with Glenn Close. Okay, then he spent the rest of the movie trying to fucking fix his mistake. Okay, he even came clean to his wife and told her, hey, listen, I fucked around while you and our child were out of town. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. That woman meant nothing to me, but now she's harassing me and you need to know about it. Okay, but that kind of, he had to fucking do all that. He had to protect his family. And because his mistress, the woman that he fucked, made his life living hell, kidnapped his daughter, killed the family pet. Then tried to kill them. Okay, it's like, damn, So he suffered for what he did. I don't see Nicole Kidman suffering for anything in this movie. In fact, I think that when it finally gets revealed, the affair gets revealed to her husband and to her kids, I think they're just going to give her high fives and go, you go, girl, go get yours. And of course the husband, Antonio Banderas, he's a cuck now in this movie, which really sucks, man, because he was like the Latin lover, And if you're going to fucking emasculate him, okay, make the husband white then. Don't fucking do it to a Latino, okay? I'm not saying it doesn't happen to Latinos, but they like to fucking make fun of men in these movies, okay? Make men look like shit, okay? Especially if they're white, okay? So why is the Latino husband is the one that gets fucked over here, okay? And I'm pretty sure he's gonna forgive her. I'm pretty sure there'll be no consequence. He ain't gonna leave her. He ain't gonna file for divorce. He's not gonna start his own relationship on the side to get back at her or anything. Or he's not gonna move out. I bet you none of that shit's gonna fucking happen, okay? He's not gonna do a paternity test on his children. Which is the stuff a real man would do. Okay, you see what I mean? And I can tell you right now, the woman that directed this movie, that wrote this movie, her name is Helena Rain, a Dutch lesbian woman, a failed actress. I know exactly why she turned the husband, Antonio Banderas' character, Jacob. I know exactly why she turned him into the cuck of the movie. Okay, think about it. What is Jacob's job? What's his employment? Okay, he is a director. He directs Broadway shows, Broadway plays. Okay, he's a theater director. Okay, so he's the one that makes the decisions who gets cast, how they're going to act. He criticizes the performances in order for the actors to reach his vision. Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, so I'm just thinking about, oh my God, Helena Rain, a failed actress. Okay, that's why she went behind the camera, because she couldn't make it in front of the camera. She's too ugly and she's too misandrist, okay? Which is great in Hollywood, but unfortunately you gotta be, it's okay in Hollywood to hate men, but you gotta be pretty. If you're not pretty, you're gonna be on the other side of the camera. And that's what happened to Helena, okay? She ended up on the other side of the camera. Okay, this is only her third movie she ever did. But clearly she hates the male directors that have rejected her throughout her entire acting career. So of course, given the opportunity to make a screenplay where the male stage director is the cuck of the movie, I'm sure for her that was a dream come true. Oh yes. Now we're going to make them look like shit. And maybe some of this is anecdotal. Maybe she worked in a play or something. That's what I like to think. I like to think that Helena was working on a play. She auditioned for a role. She got the role, and then she got fired midway through because her acting fucking sucked. But she did meet the director's wife, and she did find out that the director's wife was cheating on him. Okay, and he was oblivious to it, and so that probably gave her the idea to write this screenplay. okay, and make this movie. Okay, this is her way of dealing with the fact that men don't fucking find her attractive. Okay, that is her cope. That's what this movie is. It's cope. All right. Okay, real quickly here. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, Diego knows at knows Diego right there. Okay, Diego knows at knows Diego. That is my X account. I'm gonna post this video on X. Okay. And this right here, Diego de la Vega knows, that is my Rumble, okay? Because I'm going to post this video on Rumble as well. So you can always find my videos on X and on Rumble, okay? Because you know how YouTube is, okay? It's all a bunch of liberals and, you know, Google and San Francisco and Silicon Valley, you know, they just, you know, you know what I'm saying here. Anyway, at least no one's trying to shoot me. Damn, you know. I'm glad I'm small fry. And I am aware, real quickly, I'm aware that my video views are not nearly as high as they were when I was doing Sex and the City. But you know what? This is for posterity. I do this for fun. I never did this to make money on YouTube or anything like that. I do this for fun because I like watching how these movies affects culture. Now, clearly, this movie had almost no effect on culture, because I had to ask women about this movie and they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. The one with Nicole Kidman. What? Which one was that one? That's the one, you know, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Yo, you mean that show with Reese Witherspoon? No, not the show with Reese Witherspoon. I'm talking about the movie, Babygirl. Oh, no, what's that one about? That's the one where she's cheating on her husband with the young guy. She's the CEO, and he's like, oh yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that. I never watched it. That's what I've been getting when I ask women about Babygirl, you know. They're like, oh, I didn't watch it. Yeah, but I did. Okay. All right. Yes, it is a piece of shit. This movie's a piece of shit. Of course it is. Okay. It's your typical Hollywood check boxes. Okay. You know, every you know, men all suck. That kind of thing. All right. Men are all evil. Okay. Men are all stupid. Okay, you know, men are all cowards. They're all beta males, that kind of shit. You know, it's the typical thing. You know, they're all a combination of that. Okay, so where we left off last time is Romy and her husband Jacob. They were happier than a pig in shit because they invited their daughter Isabel's girlfriend. Yes, she's a lesbian. Okay, girlfriend to have dinner with them. Okay, and they loved watching their daughter, their 17-year-old daughter, the chemistry between her and her lesbian girlfriend Mary. Okay, and then they went under the sheets for some stupid ass reason to tell each other, oh my God, did you see how great they were last night? Oh my God, Mary and Isabel, they look so happy together. And you know what? You know what? Isabel actually helped us wash the dishes after dinner. Oh my God, she never does that. You know, and Jacob, the dad's, oh my God, I know, it is so wonderful watching them so happy together like that. Oh, it makes me feel like you're not fucking another guy behind my back. And no, I can't even think about that. I'm just so happy and proud of my daughter for being lesbian, because if she was straight, I wouldn't be proud at all. That kind of thing, you know? Okay, so they're going to, and of course, something that Jacob doesn't know, not only does he not know that his wife is fucking another guy behind his back, but he also does not know that his daughter Isabel, who was so happy with Mary at dinner, is also fucking another girl behind her own girlfriend's back. But who does know these things, okay? I'll tell you who, Romy. Romy knows, okay, that her daughter is cheating on her girlfriend with a girl that lives in the house over from their country house. Because they have two places. They have a penthouse in New York, and they also have a country house, probably in upstate New York somewhere, you know, maybe Westchester or something, wherever. Okay, that's where they spend their weekends, out in the country. Okay, so Romy knows this. Romy knows that her daughter is a two-timing cheating slut, but of course she's also a two-timing cheating slut. So what the fuck? Where's the morality here? There's no morality here. There's no morality. Okay, it's one of the problems of the movie. Okay. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Okay, the character of Romy in this movie, not only is she a piece of shit wife, she's a piece of shit mom, she's a piece of shit CEO, and she's a piece of shit lover too. Okay? Yeah, all these things apply to her. Okay, so anyway, later on, Romy catches Isabel smoking in the kitchen. Like I said, Isabel's like 16, 17 years old. So she catches her smoking in the kitchen. She goes down there. Instead of reprimanding her daughter for smoking cigarettes, it's addictive, it causes cancer, it stinks, and all that kind of stuff. Instead of that, she just takes the cigarette away from her daughter, and then she starts smoking it. And then they giggle about it, like, In other words, she tells her daughter, yes, I know you're a lying, cheating slut who hides your vices, but you know what? So do We're on the same page. Let's go, girlfriend. That kind of thing, you know. Like I said, mom's a piece of shit. She's a piece of shit mom. Okay, she shakes her head and then she smokes it as well and gives it back to her daughter. Okay, and they both laugh about it. How cool is that? That's what I'm telling you, man. And I'm pretty sure later on, when they find out about the affair, okay, when the kids find out about the affair, if they do, they're just gonna give their mom high fives, you know, for doing the right thing. Yeah, I was like, hey, you wanted to get your rocks off. Dad wasn't doing it, so you got it from another guy. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You go, girl. That kind of thing, you know. Now you get it, right? You get it. Okay, they're both cheating on their lovers. They're both cheating on the people that they're in love with. In love with. Okay, but acting all happy with their partners. Okay, for the relationship, and one for the relationship, and then one to fuck. Okay, so they both have one partner to parade around the people that are important to them. Okay, to have long, slow, meaningful conversations, okay, to do things with and have fun with. And then they got another partner who they keep a secret, and that's the one that they get off with. That's the one they have their orgasms with, okay? You see what I mean? You know? What would have been a better movie is if it turns out that the husband, Jacob, was also having his affair too. That would have been something, but of course the movie ain't gonna go there because that would have made Romy look gullible, blatantly gullible instead of subvertly gullible like she is in this movie, okay? So that's going on here. All right, one for the relationship and one to fuck. Okay, lots of things wrong with this. Okay, lots of things wrong. First of all, okay, they reverse the whole male-female role. Okay, women will tolerate sex, but not relationship, providing that men will not tolerate sex. Okay, any woman can do that. Few men can do this. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Okay, women, they will. Okay, if a woman, okay, if you have a high value woman and a high value man, they're both married. Okay, the high value woman will tolerate her husband having sex with other women, providing that he does not have a relationship with the other woman. And what do I mean by that? Okay, it's like someone like Hugh Hefner. Okay, Hugh Hefner has been married many times. Okay, he owned Playboy magazine. For those of you kids out there that don't know. Okay, he had lots of women. He fucked lots of celebrity women. Okay, and he was married. He was married several times. Of course, he cheated on all his wives. You know why? And they knew it. They knew he didn't have to hide it. They knew it. Okay, because that was a part of his ambiance. He had the best parties. Okay, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but they stayed with him. Okay, he divorced his wives. The wives did not divorce him. Okay, they stayed with him because they were not going to find another guy like him. He was so rare. A guy who was rich, charming, and good in fucking bed, and had so many hot women wanting him. Okay, that they knew that there was a social hierarchy. Whichever one of these hot women that lands him as a husband is the winner. Okay, so they're all competing to be that woman. All right, so they knew that marrying him means that he's probably going to fuck other women, and if I leave him over that, I'm never going to get him back. So, I'll tolerate this. What women will not tolerate, though, is if a man is having a relationship behind his partner's back. And what I mean by that, okay, is when you're married, the husband is expected certain gender roles, okay, gender norms. For example, the husband is expected to pay the bills. He's expected to provide for his wife, provide for their children, okay, protect them, okay, and all these things. He's expected to do that, okay? If they're going to go on vacation, dad's going to pay for it. If they're going to go on a vacation, like say with his wife somewhere to a fancy restaurant, dad's going to pay for it. He's going to take care. He's going to take his wife shopping. Okay, he's going to buy her Christmas presents, birthday presents. He's going to plan the vacations. He's going to take his wife out to Greece or Italy or wherever the fuck she wants to go. Okay, if she needs a car, he's going to buy her a car. He's going to do all these things because he loves his wife and it's expected of him. It's expected of him. He is the man of the family. Now, if he's doing these things with another woman, for women, that's the real cheating. How dare you go on vacation with that slut mistress of yours, okay, to Italy? Don't you realize how much that hurt me? That kind of thing. If he's having, spending weekends with her, lying to her that he has to go on a business trip, the truth is he spent the whole weekend with his mistress. Okay, that's going to hurt his wife's feelings. Okay? If he's in love with his mistress, if he's buying her jewelry, okay, buying her bracelets and necklaces, things like that, going to the opera with her, with his mistress, okay? going on vacation with her, taking her to fancy restaurants, buying her a car, a Maserati or something. Okay, you see what I mean? This is the stuff that hurts women. Okay, the fact that he is like having an emotional and sexual relationship with another woman that's not his wife. Okay, that's what really hurts women more than anything else. Okay, not so much the sex, the pump and dump, no big deal. I'm not saying it's ideal, but if you're with a high value man, it's expected. Okay, if you're a nobody chick and you're dating Leo DiCaprio, do you really expect him to be faithful to you? Of course not. Of course he's gonna be fucking other girls. Okay, but you're the official girlfriend, so you have a status over them. Okay, as long as he keeps taking you on vacations and buying you nice things and helping your acting career, you're not gonna fucking give that up just because he wants to fuck more than one woman. You see what I mean? The point is he's doing the romantic stuff with you. Okay, he's just fucking these other women. Okay, women will tolerate a man who cheats, provided that he takes care of the emotional needs of his wife or his girlfriend, whichever one comes first. Okay, what she doesn't want is is her man taking care of the emotional needs of a mistress. Okay, someone else, someone he's fucking behind her back. Okay, because that's what really fucking hurts for women. All right. Yes, I talk from experience. Okay, and it's implicit in all these movies as well. There was a movie I reviewed. God, what the fuck? I keep forgetting the name of it. That's because I fucking hated it. Okay, but I reviewed it here. It's that Christmas movie. Okay, it had all-star cast. It had Emma Thompson. It had Liam Neeson. I reviewed it, but I don't remember the name of it. Okay, you know the one I'm talking about. It had Laura Linney was in it. Okay, Alan Rickman was in it. Like I said, Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant was in it. It takes place in England. Okay, it's like a Christmas love movie with all these different characters. All right, why can't I fucking remember? Anyway, it'll come back to me. But there was a storyline in that movie. Liam Neeson was in it and stuff, where Alan Rickman is married to Emma Thompson. Okay, and he has Alan Rickman has a young hot secretary who clearly has the hots for him. Okay, and he kind of knows it. But Alan Rickman is married to Emma Thompson, so he's not going to fuck around. Okay, because he loves his wife, but his wife is old like him. She's not young and hot, with a tight ass like his secretary does, right? And she's clearly lusting for him. And he's been having fantasies about fucking her. Because he hasn't fucked her. He hasn't asked her out, nothing like that. But he's having fantasies about it, okay? And they're having this, the movie takes place during Christmas, okay? So he decides, without telling his wife, he decides to buy this girl, his secretary, a bracelet, okay? To buy a bracelet for her. Okay, to give her for Christmas. Okay, this hot young woman. Okay, well, the wife finds out about it. She finds the bracelet and she assumes that it's her Christmas present was this nice bracelet. All right. Well, when Christmas comes and her Christmas present is a fucking CD, that's when she realizes that he bought the bracelet for another woman. Okay, and she loses her shit. Okay, they have a little montage of her crying her eyes out. And then finally, before he actually does anything with this young girl, he realizes that he hurt his wife. He realized he made a mistake and he tries to apologize to her. But she already called him out. But he's like, I've been such a fool. That kind of thing. All right. And so the wife, Emma Thompson, is devastated. And the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, you're devastated, but yet he never fucked her. He never fucked this girl. He just bought her a bracelet. Okay? I had the distinct impression that if he had just fucked her and that's it, she would not have gotten nearly as upset. But because he bought her a bracelet, which is something you buy for your wife, not your mistress, not an expensive bracelet, okay? That goes to your wife, not your mistress, okay? The fact that she's married to him means that she should be, technically she should be higher up on his priorities, okay, than her. But he bought this woman, this young hot girl, a necklace, an expensive necklace, bracelet, instead of giving it to his wife. Okay, that's what really hurt. Okay, that's what really, really fucking cut deep. Okay, the name of the movie is called Love Actually. Love Actually. Okay, that's what really fucked over the wife was that he bought her that gift. Okay, and remember, he never fucked the girl. He never fucked the girl. He never does. In the movie, he realized it was a mistake to do that, and he's sorry. You know how he hid the bracelet? He had to buy it at the store while his wife was there, while she was occupied doing somewhere else. That's when he had to like sneak behind her back and buy the bracelet, that kind of shit. Okay, so he did some sneaking around, but he never actually had sex with this woman. Okay, doesn't matter. Wife fucking leaves him, all that kind of shit. She divorces his ass. You know, she's a bitch to him for the rest of the movie. You know, she doesn't really forgive him. You know, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and I'm like, oh my god, he didn't even fuck the girl. And you're treating him like he destroyed the marriage or something. He did not even fuck the girl. All he did was bought her a goddamn bracelet. He bought her a goddamn bracelet and then he told you he was sorry for it. What the fuck? See what I mean? She's acting the way a man would act if his wife had just fucked another guy and that was it. That was it. There was no, she never cooked him dinner. She never fucking, you know, rubbed his back or anything like that, asked him how his day was. She just fucked the guy. Okay? You see what I mean? That's the difference. Okay? Men, we're not like that. Okay? We don't give a shit if you've got a guy friend. We don't give a shit if you're always talking to some dude. Okay? But if you're fucking him, that's it. Game on. If you're fucking him, that's it. Nope. No fucking way. I don't give a shit who the fuck you are. Get the fuck out of my life. Okay? That's the way most men are. You're never going to see that in a chick flick because they're always going to make it look like the guy gets turned on watching his wife fuck other men. And I know there's a lot of movies and TV shows that deal with that, okay? But it's so few and far between, it's not even worth mentioning, okay? Men, that's where most of us draw the line. If you're fucking another guy, that's it. Okay, there's nothing you can do to atone for that. Nothing you can do to make up for it. There's nothing, okay? I don't give a shit how many bracelets you buy this guy. But if you fuck him, that's it. We're done. You see what I mean? That's the difference. Okay, that's the fucking difference here. And that's what this movie's doing. It's trying to reverse that. It's trying to reverse it, okay? The things that when a guy, you know, a guy will be married, he'll provide for his wife and his kids. He'll do all that kind of stuff. He'll take care of them financially, emotionally, all that kind of stuff. But every once in a while, he wants something on the side. Okay? You see what I mean? Okay? You know, that's if you're a high value man. Well, because they're trying to make Nicole Kidman's character the high value woman. So that's basically what she's doing. Okay, she's got her husband, she's got her family, she's got her business, she's got her career, her success. But you know, she wants him on the side. So let her have it. You see what I mean? And it just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't, because husband is not going to tolerate that. A husband's not going to tolerate. Okay, I'm sorry, ladies, but most of us are not Will Smith. Okay, we don't want to be like Will Smith. Okay, we won't. Hell no. You fuck the other guy, the marriage is over. That's it. We're done. We're done. There's no coming back from this. You see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, okay? I don't give a shit how many fucking bracelets, okay, you buy for this guy. But if you're fucking him, we're done. That's it. We're done. You see what I mean? And the movie's trying to reverse that. They're trying to make Nicole Kidman the man, okay, who's successful and deserves a little piece on the side every once in a while. You know? That's what they're trying to do, and it does not work. It doesn't work because men aren't that way. The things that a woman will put up with are not the things that a man will put up with. You see what I mean? Okay, and that's the truth. Hey, straight man's point of view. That's what I give you. All right. So that's going on here, okay? The lover, the mistress, okay, is going to, okay, it doesn't work. That's one of the reasons, because they reverse the gender roles, okay? They're turning Romy into a man. That's the first reason it doesn't work. The second reason it doesn't work, okay, is because it's not sustainable. Okay, the lover or the mistress, okay, is eventually, that person is eventually either going to want more, okay, or they're going to move on with someone else, okay, that they can have more fun with. That's what always happens, okay? Either the one person, either he leaves his partner to be with the new person, or the new person leaves to go find someone that they can have all to themselves. You see what I mean? That's what always happens, okay? So the idea that this is going to be a lasting thing is very slim, okay? Honestly, okay? I mean, Nicole Kidman's been married to Jacob for like 30 years now, okay? Because he said like, oh, the last time you came to visit me at work was in the 90s. Well, that was 30 fucking years ago, okay? So, you know, and he said, because you thought I was cheating on you. Okay, you see what I mean? So is she going to leave her husband for this fucking 25-year-old? She knows he's 25. She even says it later on in the movie. Oh, listen, you're just a kid. I don't want to hurt you, okay? Because he's a dumb kid. But she's actually the one that's acting dumb here. Okay? She has a lot more experience than he does. She's done more with her life than he ever has. Okay? Is this the kind of guy you want to leave your life and your family for? You see what I mean? It makes no sense, okay? Personally, if I was her, let's say, for example, the seduction worked, okay, and I end up fucking him, okay, that would have been it. That would have been a one and done. And that's it. I wouldn't have started anything else. I wouldn't have been fucking blowing up his phone, okay? I wouldn't have been fucking spying on him at work, okay? None of that shit would have fucking happened, okay? None of that shit would have fucking happened. It would have been a one and done. Because you know what? That's what a guy would have done. That's what a man would have done. Okay? If he felt that this woman might threaten his marriage or something like that, he would have made sure that, first of all, that it never got to that. Okay? And then that would have been it. Like, okay, we're done. You probably would have let her know right away. This is going to be a one-time thing. Okay? Don't expect me to keep fucking you all the time. Get a boyfriend or something. Okay? I'm married. You see what I mean? And if she doesn't agree to that, okay, get the fuck out. Okay? But even then, I wouldn't have risked my whole fucking corporation, my whole company that I built over a piece of ass. So why the fuck is Romy doing it? Anyway, moving right along. Romy comes home and finds Samuel at the breakfast table at her country house. So she comes home to her country house, and there's Samuel sitting there at the table with her family, talking with them. There's Jacob sitting next to him. There's her daughter Isabel, and then her other daughter is there. Okay, like, what the fuck? So she obviously is shocked. This is like the more Fatal Attraction shit. There's a scene in Fatal Attraction where Michael Douglas comes home to his apartment, and there's his wife sitting there in the kitchen with his mistress. And he's like, and of course his wife does not realize that the woman sitting next to her is the woman that he was fucking while she was gone for the weekend. You see what I mean? So now this is just another version of that, okay? There's nothing original in this movie, by the way, just in case you didn't realize that, all right? All right, so she comes home, she finds Samuel sitting there. I actually paid attention to some of the stuff that he was talking about. It turns out that Sam's mom was a teacher, okay, and his dad was a professional fighter who became a security guard. Okay, and then got into philosophy, became a philosophy teacher, and then he also wrote poetry or some shit like that. So he comes from a family of losers. All right, so he's very lower middle class, I would say. Okay, or middle class. Okay, blue collar family for the most part. Okay, so he's not used to fucking billionairesses that own their own tech companies. Okay, this is not something that's in his wheelhouse. Okay, all right, it's not typical of him or the way he was raised. Okay, so it turns out that he came to her country home to return her laptop. Okay, because it had information in it that Esme, that's Romy's secretary, the black girl secretary, Esme needed some information off of that laptop. Okay, and she couldn't figure it out, so apparently she sent Samuel to go to Romy's country house and deliver the laptop. Okay. So he hopped on a train and went to the country. Okay? All right? That's what happened. Of course, she plays it off. She does not confess to her husband right then and there that this is the man she's been sleeping with. Okay? Or having sex with. Okay? And Jacob notices Romy's outfit. She's wearing this dress. He's like, "Oh, sweetheart, you look hot in that dress." Not realizing that the guy sitting next to him has been fucking plowing his wife. Okay? Okay, once again, making Antonio Banderas look like a fucking fool, like a cuck. It sucks. Okay, to me, he was Zorro. He was a Latin lover. Now he's a fucking Latin cuck. All right? Okay, and his daughters they're grossed out by anything that's heterosexual. So they're like, "Oh, gross, Dad. Ew, you just called Mom beautiful and hot. Ew, that's gross. That's like so heterosexual. Ew, not in this house. Ew," like that, all right? Okay, and Samuel we also find out that Samuel is a part-time bartender. And he names the name of the bar that he works at night. Nora, that's the youngest daughter, the 12-year-old, she tries to show off her dance skills to Samuel. "Oh, look what I can dance," that kind of thing. So clearly I'm guessing that Nora is heterosexual, all right? But the older sister Isabel is not. All right, so that's going on here. Of course, Jacob invites Samuel to go hiking. "Hey, we're about to go outside hiking. You want to come with us?" "Oh, come on with us. The family do it all the time. You're practically family. I mean, you're fucking my wife. I mean, I'm not supposed to know that, am I? Okay, just come on over. It's fine." That kind of thing. All right, so of course he agrees to go. Okay, so we go outside, okay, in the woods behind the house, okay? And inside the so-called natural light, I have to be honest with you, okay, Nicole Kidman looks like absolute fucking shit. Okay, she looks like the Joker from Batman. Okay, her hair is fucking colored red, like a not a human being red color. Okay, and you know, her face is all puffed out because of the Botox. She has very pale skin, and her lips are way the fuck too red. Okay, she looks like a fucking monster clown. She looks very unattractive. The director, the cinematographer, did Nicole Kidman no favors. If she is trying to rebuild her career and try to be a leading woman again, this movie will not help her. Okay, it's only going to make things worse. Okay, she looks like shit here, and I'm trying to be as nice about this as I can, but there's no other way to describe this. She looks her age. She looks worse than her age. Okay, most women that are 57 do not Botox the shit out of their face. Like Nicole Kidman did. She looks like fucking shit. Just another reason why the fuck would this guy Samuel be attracted to her? Why would he be fucking her? Okay? I already told you the real reason he would do it, to get ahead at his job. All right? But the movie's not going there. Okay? Hence, it's a plot hole. Okay? She does not look attractive at all here. I told you, I've seen her in movies where she did look attractive. Look at fucking Batman Forever. She looked incredible in that movie. But that was 30 years ago. Okay? So like it's just gross, okay? You know, and so in the outdoor light, she looks like shit. She looks like a comic book witch, to be honest. She looks like a comic book witch, okay? She got the bright orange hair, the red lips, the pale white Botox infused face. Okay, it's creepy. It's very creepy. Okay, she looks like she's wearing a Halloween costume. Okay, and Samuel is there watching Jacob and his daughters wrestle in the grass. Okay, he's just watching them play. Okay, and there or across from him is Romy watching Samuel watch her family play in the grass. Okay? And it's just creepy as fuck. All right? You know, where they're rolling around in the woods. Okay? He tells Romy that he likes her family and that they're very nice and that he wants that for himself someday. Okay? So someday he wants that for himself. He wants to have a wife and kids and all that kind of fucking shit. Okay? Have the kind of life, okay, that she has. All right? So moving right along, Romy decides, she decides to drive Samuel to the train station so he can get back to New York, and they have a little conversation there. Okay, and that's where a lot of drama takes place. Okay, while they're at the train station parking lot. All right, but I'll get into that in the next video. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.